This episode is brought to you by Shortform. Get a 20% discount and access to thousands of books at shortform.com/improvement pill. Improvement pill here. Here's an idea that's made me into a much happier person these past few months. It's gonna sound a bit crazy, okay? What if you and I are the same? And I don't mean like we're both human or that we like the same things. I mean, what if you and I are literally the same being, the same soul? You see, there are stories of people that had traumatic brain injuries like getting a rod shot through their head, which lead to sudden changes in the way they act. Someone who used to be calm and collected would suddenly become someone who was easily irritated and upset. So it seems like a lot of what we feel is tied to what's physically going on in our body and brain. So we are not what we feel. Then there are stories of twins and triplets who were separated at birth, but eventually reunited, only to find out that all three smoke the same type of cigarettes, all three like older women, and all three even dance the same way. Which means that a lot of what we think makes us special, our unique preferences in life, our quirks, how we act, might actually be because of our genes, our DNA. This made me think, what if who we think we are is actually just a list of traits and emotions for the physical body that we are currently in? All of the things that we identify with, our age, our race, our height, the way we look, the way we feel, our positives and negatives, all of this are just labels and personality traits of a character in a movie. This ain't the real you. The real you is the being on the couch watching this movie. Some call it your consciousness, others call it your soul. Now stay with me. Here's another idea that I've been thinking about a lot, which comes from The Egg Story by Andy Weir. Kurt Sagat's also made a video about it. To quickly sum it up, the main character dies and is told that when you die, you get reincarnated into another body. You might come back as some random person on the other side of the world. You might even come back as a dog. Every time you die, the cycle continues on until you've experienced every single life that exists and will ever exist. This idea of reincarnation kinda makes sense to me because there are interesting studies of kids under the age of 5 who have strange memories of past lives. There are thousands of cases where kids are able to remember exactly how and where someone else died, along with dozens of other small details about that person's life. And just to be clear, this is all before the internet, so how would a 5-year-old kid in some random Indian village know how someone died in France, a country that uses a totally different language? Researchers ended up concluding that something's definitely going on here. Could it be reincarnation? Who knows? They can't prove it. But let's run with these two ideas. What if everything we identify with is actually just part of the body that we're currently in, and the real us is this being on the couch? And what if every time we die, the movie finishes and we flip the channel to the next movie? If this is true, then it's possible that we are all the same being, just at different stages of its movie binge-watching journey. It's possible that you and I are the same. One day you will get to live Improvement Pill's life, and one day I will get to live yours. Or maybe that's already happened. Now, why am I bringing up this crazy idea that I certainly cannot prove? Well, as I've played with this idea in my head for the past couple of months, I've started to actually believe it. Not a lot, maybe only 10%, but it's brought some very interesting benefits into my life. First of all, I don't really feel negative emotions as strongly. Sometimes I'll be on social media looking at someone who is way more successful than I am, more talented, more attractive, and in the past I might have felt some sort of envy or feel bad about myself. But nowadays, with this new belief that we are all the same, my thinking changes. I start to think, wow, that's cool. I'm glad that version of me gets to live that life. Good for them. Secondly, I feel more connected with people who are experiencing hardship. Sometimes I come across panhandlers when I travel, and I end up thinking, wow, that's going to be me one day. I'm going to experience this form of hardship as well. I should help them out. Now, this is very different from how I used to think when I was younger. Back then, I felt proud when I donated money. I would think, wow, I'm sure people watch and think I'm such a good person. But with this new belief, I don't really feel proud. I feel like I'm taking care of a wound on my own body. That's the best way to describe it. Like it's my duty to take care of myself. And finally, this belief has made me more understanding. We often witch hunt people on social media. This person is evil because they did X, Y, and Z. When I see these people being accused, I think, wow, that's me in another life. If I was born in that body, in that environment, and had to live their life, I would probably do the equally messed up thing that they've been accused of. I can also be terrible. So I don't get angry or upset when I see people in this situation. I actually feel curious as to what led them down this path, and if the accusations are even true. Now look, I know I've been away for a while and I know this idea sounds crazy, but I wanted to share it with you because it is something that I think about a lot nowadays, and it's honestly made me happier. I hope it brings you the same sort of peace that it's brought me. Now, if you're wondering where I get these life-changing ideas, it's usually from books, which is why this episode is brought to you by Shortform. Shortform allows you to quickly learn about the most important things in books, articles, and even podcasts without having to spend hours reading or listening to the entire thing. They are by far the most in-depth book summary platform that I've come across, giving you enough information to grasp all of the most important ideas without having to read the full book. On top of that, they even connect ideas between books, making sure that you see things from multiple angles. They have a vast library covering every nonfiction subject you can think of, and you can even vote on what you want them to summarize next. Personally, I like to browse technology, relationships, and philosophy. Go to shortform.com/improvement pill to get 20% off on one of the best time-saving education tools out there. The idea that we are a being on a couch watching a movie is actually from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which you can check out on Shortform as well. It's one of my all-time favorite books that helped me a lot during my teenage years. If you decide to check it out, make sure to only read the first couple of chapters because the second half of the book kind of gets weird. Besides that, guys, stay tuned.